Hola,
Welcome to Hoops and Harmony.
yo me llamo Silvia
Yo me llamo Ebony.
y este es un podcast.
De...
Lo quería decir en español, yo lo puedo hacer. Este es un podcast.
This is a podcast.
How do you say hosted?
Hosted.
Hosted.
Hosted by two hoop wearing Latinas, harmonizing with the world.
Armoniando con el mundo.
That's right.
Sí. But today we talked a little bit. We just talked about taking like transitioning into a slower process, doing things in the transition, um, taking the positions that you are humbly, right, and remembering
That's a word.
what humbly,
Maybe. We'll take it now.
bumbly.
Now it's a word.
Now it is a word.
Rumbly.
Tumbly.
Jimu jumbly. I don't know. That's not a word, but
Mr. Crumbly. Anyways, yes, we talked a little bit about that and like how, we're all just peoples, but you got to be mindful of what's coming out your fucking mouth. We're going to get popped. And yeah.
Right. So be aware because it comes from the left, right, up, down. You never know.
Back.
Forward. But yeah, I think that's for the most part all we talked about. So
It was
just
a cute conversation.
yeah, a very good conversation actually. So be mindful, y'all. Stay tuned.
Enjoy the episode. Follow us on H&H Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, on Snapchat. No, just kidding. Not Snapchat.
Someone asked me the other day about Snapchat, and I was like, "No, I don't have Snapchat."
I'm too grown.
Yeah, but anyways, yes, follow us on all platforms. Linktree, just go on our
YouTube,
Instagram. You can find it on
We're at
Linktree.
103, but I think by this time we'll be at 111.
Oh, I was gonna say 105, but 111. Okay, that works. That works.
And thank you to our sponsor, Monaco. We appreciate you for all that you do and continue to love us. Continue to take care of us.
Sponsor.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hi, amiga. How have you been?
Wow, you sounded like me like last season.
Damn, because you've evolved.
Yeah. Nah, I've been good. Oh, it's my new one. I finished my other one?
No, you didn't.
Oh,
Lame.
damn, lame.
Shout out
actually.
Monacos. Thank you for the sponsors.
Not yet, but we will.
Yeah,
We will, because
it's already happened.
Monacos, you know what? Monacos have done a lot for us. Like we literally were saying that, huh? We put a lot of people up on
Yeah, the Blue
Monacos.
Crush was. I was telling her.
Damn, that's fucked up. Now I'm about to be out here looking a little dirty. Go like this. It's alright. It's cool. It'll dry.
Inside, you're like, ah!
I know. Can we not talk about that? I'm trying to be positive out here. Like, in my head's like just running through this fucking fire.
And that is it. Classic. When your pink is up. But yeah, Monacos have been our tried and true for a really long time.
For sure. We've tried all of them all practically already, huh?
Yeah, the first one I had was the blue one.
I think
Because
the
it
first
used
one
to
was
take
this one.
to me it used to take like an adios, and at that time like I used to drink adioses a lot.
To me, it tastes like a blue Jolly Rancher.
It got me off Hennessy.
Hennessy. That was another one, huh?
Ugh.
That's crazy.
And
That's
so
fucking crazy.
disgusting.
And then when these
When
came
ki-
out like 9%, like they do the job, they taste good, they're pretty smooth.
the tequila Sun
yo.
Crush is my fave. It tastes like
Let me try it again.
let me give it a taste test.
Dirty out here.
Oh.
Keep going. Get my mind off of it.
Well, I'm trying to. We started to
I
go.
know.
You went back to it. Well, this tastes really good. It's I don't know what it tastes like. It tastes like squirt, and I love squirt. I don't drink
That one
soda.
tastes like squirt?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
yeah, like squirt and orange.
Okay.
But squirt is the only soda I'll drink. Because I don't drink like Coke. You drink Coke?
I don't drink soda, fool.
No, not anymore.
No, I haven't drank soda like that like since high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Like here and there, I'll like drink, but like, and I won't even. It's just like a sip.
Me
Like
too.
it's
Like
just a
el
sip.
antojo, like a little moment. But even
Yeah,
then, Coke, dark Coke is nasty.
like it just gives like just something. But yeah, no, I haven't drank soda. I cut that. I cut that like maybe ninth grade.
Yeah.
I cut it out of my.
I don't think I ever wanted it.
Yeah. No, I used to drink it. Like it was a thing, and then I
I
just
wish I could do
stopped.
that for like chips.
Nah, I'm okay. I
Mm-mm.
like chips.
I love chips too, but like
Balance.
they're the like the other day.
Do you enjoy chips? Yes
the,
or no?
The other day you had a bag of chips and then you were like but balancing for when you had grapes.
Telling you balance. Like it's because I don't like I really and I think that's one of the things for me that like when I hear people talk about like really strict nutrition, like really strict food, really strict, I'm like, okay, like you let me know how that goes for you and then we'll talk after because most of the time, maybe like 80 or 90% of the time, when people like jump into those, and it's cool, like they're trying it out. But I think a lot of times when they jump into that, it's hard or they get bothered when they notice that one, either it's not working after they stop, because obviously it's a really strict like food. Like it's a really strict meals. Like you
Yeah.
have to like you no longer have to input the things you like and things like that. And it's like, do you really want to do that for the rest of your life?
I don't think people do it I wouldn't do it for the rest of my life.
Hell no.
But I don't think people do it for the rest of their life.
They
I
do
think
it for temporary moments.
because then and it's meant to be temporary. Like you're not gonna go on a calorie deficient diet or fast, whatever type of diet you're on, because there's so many diets. Like the point of the diet, I think, is for your body to like just rest. Because I think sometimes when we're just putting in a lot of things in our body, like our body's overworking. So it's a point of rest. And then you can come back and be like, okay, now how do I balance it? How can maybe I incorporate this meal because I really like this meal?
But it rarely ever happens.
I know because the people aren't doing it right.
But it's hard because your body gets used to a certain foods.
Yeah.
So your body starts. So now when you incorporate back the things that you enjoy doing or you actually enjoyed, like you're not starting from you're not starting from the jump of balancing it out. And I think that's the problem because when you go back to it, then it's like, oh, I'm going back to what it was, because you're so strict on it being like a certain way. And then it's like, so it's like you have to, I don't know. I think it's like balancing it out if you're not going to stick to it like that throughout your whole like journey, I guess, or your whole life. Cause it's a lifestyle. It really is a lifestyle. Like to be eating healthy like that.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
I agree. I know what you're saying because I think that like for me, I really one day want to just stop eating meats in general. Like that's my goal. Like one day I just want to not eat meats. I don't want to have bread. Like those are the things. But I know I'm addicted to bread. I know I'm addicted.
So it's a slow transition
It's
that you have to make.
Yes.
It's like drugs.
I know. But I think that I do want to have like a 30-day of just me eating that way. Right? So then it's like it kind of speeds up the process too, right? Because I know like I could take my time, but there are things like maybe because I think that really quickly I could gain weight. Like for me, I gain weight really fast. I think in recent months I've gained a lot of weight, and it's because I haven't been staying on track with my yoga, staying on track with my walking, being mindful of what I'm eating slower, eating less, portioning out my meals because I'm just like on the go a lot. I don't really have time. I don't give myself the moments. So I'm eating that way. But and then it's hard for me to stay on a diet. But I want to definitely give myself a 30-day where it's like, this is it. This is your meals. And I know it's gonna be hard because it's 30 days and I'm addicted to food, but like then that's the problem. Right? Like I'm addicted to it, and I feel like I could feel like I don't think I have an addictive personality for like drugs or like alcohol. Like I don't, but for food I do. Like I could tell there's there's this craving that I want it and I don't care. I don't care. Like I just want it. And I would like for myself to do a cleanse of like, no, here's your discipline. Right? Like
Well, why
just
don't you try instead of a month doing like a week rather
maybe.
than like a whole month? Just because it's a slower transition. I don't know. I feel like, I think that, and that's what I'm saying. I'm comparing it to drugs because, like you're saying, like addiction, right? So it's like, for example, like when you put somebody in rehab, right? For the most part, that from what I know, I could be wrong, but like from what I know, it's like they go through a lot of withdrawals. And sometimes the people like who are trying to transition out of drugs, they give them supplements or something that kind of maybe
Like candy or
substitutes that, where it's not the actual maybe drug, but it's something similar to slow in that transition. So it doesn't feel like from one thing to the next. Cause then your body goes into this like,
like shock.
yeah, like this shock, So then it's like, so then you kind
Does
of
it
go
really
back and
work?
forth. Huh?
It doesn't really work.
What?
The diet then. Like because your body goes into shock. So
Well,
like it
that's how I
doesn't
feel.
yeah,
I
that
don't know.
makes sense.
I could be
No, it
wrong,
makes
but
sense. I agree. I think that does make sense. It's logical. Like you can't just put your body through such like it could
dramatic change. Like transition, like any transitions, even regular, like with anything. I don't know. That's how I feel because I think
it has to
I've
be
even tried it. It has
gradual.
to be gradual, like yeah. And I think
Because if
because
not, you're gonna burn out, overwhelm
exactly,
yourself.
exactly. Unless, like I said, it's something that you're gonna continue to like really be like no. And I think that's like what we're talking about, like soda, right? Since when I cut soda to now, I still don't drink soda like that because it's already something that I've put into my life to be like, I'm not gonna drink soda like that. And now I don't. Like I really
Me
just
neither.
don't drink it like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, because if you stick to it and you do it, like it kind of has to stay consistent like that. If not, you fall back like juices. I don't know. I feel like juices are the same thing. Like you go these 30 days or things like that. And then when you go back to like, fuck, now I'm back to the same thing because I stopped it. So your body has to adjust. So I don't know. That's why I'm like, I just find it's easier for me and what works for me, obviously, is to balance it out. Cause I enjoy food. So I think I'm just learning to portion it out. Like portion all
Mm.
the things that I enjoy doing, but just doing less of it so I could have more of everything else. But that's just me. Obviously you have your I think people just have their times where like, oh, it's cut season or whatever, like summer, I don't know, where they cut foods or things like that. So obviously like slim down. But then there's bulking season where they like eat more of certain things to bulk up. Or like, I don't know. I really don't know too much of
There's
that
so many
knowledge.
things that people do.
Yeah, there's so many things. But that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's whatever.
Would you ever count your micros or macros?
You know what? My brother told me to do that, and that's just too much for me. Like, I mean, maybe it's not too much for me, but I just don't want to do all that. Like to me, I just feel like it's just I don't know. It's just something I'm not there for right now. Like it's just not where I want to do what I
Like
want to
going to a
do.
restaurant
Like
and being like, well, I can't have
yeah,
this.
like I can't like I just want to enjoy my food. I just want to enjoy my food. So it's just learning. I think for me it's obviously that balance. So if I'm eating hot Cheetos and you see me eating grapes, mind your business.
Will do.
Mind your business.
I will do.
Unless I tell you, huh? Balance, because
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I love hot Cheetos, like, but I understand when it does become like, yo, I think that's where I'm at. Like, I'm learning, like, okay, am I doing excessively? Like, am I doing it too much now? And then that's where I catch myself. And then I have to tell myself, like, okay, slow it down. Like, you're doing too much now.
Mm.
So I don't know. That's how I feel about diet. So when people like tell me, like even at work, things that I'm like, you could do that. You do
Oh, like
that.
when they were trying to juice.
Yeah, like you do that. Like you, but I am not gonna. And you even told them like, oh, Ebony, like Ebony's not gonna do that
Yeah,
because
like
I'm not.
juicing. Like no, I'm
I'm
not.
not
I'm gonna
gonna do
eat.
that. I'm not.
Yeah, facts.
So, but yeah,
Great job, amiga. I don't know how we got there.
I have no clue either. No fucking clue, actually. But I think what we really wanted to talk about is the big news that has been happening about that bitch.
What's her name?
I don't know. Used to something Martinez.
Nori.
But my friend's not a bitch. She's a Martinez. She's not a bitch.
No, I'm not a bitch. Well, what does bitch mean?
Bad bitch.
Yeah, because I would be okay with some word bitch.
Yeah,
Like
I don't know. I guess it's just it's not it's I don't know. I was gonna say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But I think it's what your reference is to bitch. In this
like if
case,
some random girl called me a bitch, I'd be like, bitch, bitch.
well, I think in that case it's like I don't know. I think I've been called bitch
The
by a
other
random
day,
person, but it was the way she said it.
no, this little bitch. The other day we were on the freeway. I was on the 605.
Who?
I was on the 60.
Kidding.
I don't fucking know. She was in an ugly car too.
What
I
kind of
know.
car fool?
I don't fucking know.
Fuck.
Like an ugly old Scion. Like ugly. Just
Damn,
ugly.
that's a
Just
fucking
fucking ugly. Anyways.
2019
But
ratchet car.
but I know it was her first fucking car because at the end, you know how when they're new used cars, like they'll have that paper plate.
Mhm.
It's not new.
Mhm.
Anyways, because my car was off the lot. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so homegirl was behind me. We're in like 605 traffic at like 8 a.m. It's fucking bumper to bumper. So homegirl's behind me, and she's like, she just hits her fucking horn, like just beep, and I'm like, and she's like, go, and I'm like, go where? Where do you want me to go? And I'm like, whatever. So I get on fucking going, stop, go, because that's what you're doing. And then homegirl, she fucking makes a dramatic fucking turn, like switch lanes. And she gets right in front of me. And she's like, you fucking bitch. And I'm like,
oh, that would have got me.
I don't.
Mad.
And I looked at her. And I was like, what is, I'm like, okay, she's having a day.
I actually gotten better at that.
I'm like, all right, she's having a day. It has nothing to do with me because we are in bumper to bumper traffic. And I did not do it. If I was really being stupid, maybe texting on my phone,
you
like
would
not
understand.
Okay, cool. I am being a bitch. But fuck you. And then her fucking lane that she dramatically changed to stopped.
That's right.
And I kept going. I'm like, that's what's up, bitch. Anyways, karma took care.
Right.
Karma took care of that one.
Karma said, you thought.
You hope.
You fucking bitch.
But anyways, back to what's her name? Nori Martinez. She's the hold on, I want to see before I start. I have LA Times on my phone as an app, and it's really comes through because sometimes it gives me like these are the new updates. Okay, so Nuri Martinez resigns from LA City Council in wake of audio leak scandal. So I think she is City Council District 6, so Panorama City, Sun Valley, Van Nuys, the 405. Anyway, so she goes on in this thing. There's a couple of audios that I listen to. I think the first audio that I think everybody's talking about is the one that you were discussing, which was the comment she had made on the boy.
Mm-hmm. She called him a changuito, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want to explain that one?
About the changuito? I mean, she just said that
from what you took.
Well, from what I originally took is maybe, it could have been looked at as a probably racist comment because, I've heard or those comments have been made before. So it could be like different ways of taking on that. But I think when you had talked about it, you had talked about it in like telling like in our culture, right? They'll say like, oh, like you're acting like a little changuito,
Right?
Like you're jumping off the walls, like things like that, right?
And you
Um,
could tell she's like very like her Latina roots have shown up in those tapes. Like I listen to her talk, and you can hear like oh, even the comment of like going like behind a building and like taking someone's kid to go fucking
beat their ass.
beat their ass a little
Yeah,
bit.
because
Because
that's
even when you're like, I don't know if you've ever been at a store and like there's like a little boy misbehaving and you're just like,
yeah, because that's like that was part of my life.
that's
Like
part of my life as
yeah,
well.
yeah, that was part of my life. To like, you're not listening. Okay, you want me to give you you're like, okay, for example, like one of the things was like, oh, you're crying. Why are you crying? You want me to give you a reason to cry? Type of thing. So it's like, and those are the things that you pick up on, and like you said, like it's part of your culture, because it's easy to be like, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like you're
Yeah.
not listening, I'm gonna beat your ass so you could listen.
Yeah.
And
And I
it's
don't
just been
think
so normal. Like,
it is normal. So I think, I don't know. I don't know about why she said it. I think that this is just a great way to kind
well,
of,
maybe she said it because she didn't even notice. Like, because
yeah,
I
it's
think we
so,
say it, but the fact that she's like in this higher up position, it probably does look a lot more uglier,
yeah.
right? And obviously, like, I think there was like probably like a racist remark that was made,
Yeah.
but the fact that you're higher up, it comes to light obviously more uglier, So that's the other part I guess you could take to it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to justify what she said, but I do want to say like I feel in my perspective.
Well, it's not right.
Well, no, I don't think it's right because like what are you doing for the community? Like why are you in the position that you're in? You know,
Or
like
your intention.
yeah, like what's your intention truly? Like are you truly getting better at who you are as an individual? Cuz I think she's a grown ass woman like talking shit. Like just talking shit. Like it doesn't matter the conversation like let's throw all of that out the window. You're a grown ass woman choosing to talk shit.
Does she have kids?
I don't know, I have no idea.
Hmm.
But
That's
but she's
probably something to think about too.
but she's just a grown ass woman, a woman having talking shit. Like it's like like in a workplace when like there's like señoras and then it's like you're the younger crowd and you're like but you're a fucking señora. Like why are you having beef with the fucking kid? Like why? And so because even when I used to work at the Dodger Stadium, there was like señoras, like ladies that have been there for years, and they just like talk shit to the younger kids or like felt like they were this in higher position
Yeah.
because of their age, but they were talking shit. Like the kids or the younger kids didn't give a shit about the shift and the schedule and when you put and when da da da. They didn't give a shit. It was like it is what it is, you know. But the ladies were like, pues, ¿por qué le dieron esa?
Haters.
Just like
Straight haters.
and she's just an older person. So that makes me wonder, like, as a woman, as a Latina, like what are you doing for yourself to heal yourself and even in your thoughts, right? Because those are her thoughts, her internal thoughts. And that makes me feel like, well, like, why are you in a place of position
Well, that's the problem, because she's in a place of a position that's
and she's not
high.
choosing to work on like herself? It doesn't sound like she's working on herself.
No, she's just set to her ways. But I think that she's not obviously the only person. I'm sure there's millions and
Oh
well, not
yeah,
trillions. I don't know, maybe trillions. I'm probably me paso, but you know what I mean. Like,
a lot.
there's a lot of people that are in power like that are in her similar position, that for a fact have those same thoughts. But the fact of the matter is that hers came to light is what makes it like, damn, you really fucked up.
Yeah,
But
because
that's why you gotta be careful about what you say.
because then they're moving from a place of ego. Like it's very egotistical.
Because you
Like
think you got power, you think
you
you
think you
like,
better.
you think you
That
won't like
I
be
do
in the
want to see.
wrong.
I do want to see if she has kids because she made it seem yeah.
Oh,
Because she made it seem like her kids are like bien portaditos or something.
and
Like her kids
she
are
probably doesn't even take
angels.
care of her kids.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I'm
But
just
that's what I'm
saying.
saying. Like you can't judge someone else's parenting because you don't know. Like I understand. Like I get it. Sometimes kids be crying. Like the other day I was at Target and there was this little boy like shouting, like tears of fucking like someone was like straight up killing him, like a little boy. And mom was just pushing him in the car, grabbing her
I don't have
deodorant.
patience for that.
And I was like, oh hell no, my kid is not doing none of that. Like you
But you
do not,
can't control that fool.
I cannot. And so the other day, my niece, she was trying to cry like that, or she tries to cry like that, the younger one. And I'm like, no, no, no. And I take her out to the store. Like we don't even start it. Like yeah, if I feel it
Well, that's what
coming,
I would do too. I
I
was
would
literally thinking that in my head.
I remove her and I sit her down and I'm like, that's not how we ask for things. Go ahead, cry. Cry all you want in this car. And when you're done, you can ask me for what you want. And I can respond whether you can have it or not. Crying, crying. Okay, give her 5 minutes. Let's go. We got to the house. She's like, hi, Tia, can I want it? No, no, no. Okay. Not today though. Because you don't ask me for things like that.
Yeah.
And I think she understood because there was another time where it came up and like I was like, oh, what do we say? Do we ask for things like that? No. And she calmed down. So I think though, and I get it. I think I have maybe the skills because my mom doesn't have that patience anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
This is something we learn and pick up on, and like I say, like there's things that obviously, we're gonna do with our kids, but we're not gonna fix everything.
No, we're not gonna fix
We're not
everything.
gonna fix
But we
everything.
can't judge
Like,
other parents for not having that skill.
yeah, well, no, for sure. We can't.
can't.
We can't. Because
Mm,
it's a domino effect.
yeah,
It's a
facts.
domino effect. So yeah, I think it's just the fact that she's in power because
But a lot of people
so,
in power because there was another
of
tape.
course.
There was another tape where she was talking to like I think some guy named Herrera and I don't know who De Leon. There were just other people talking, um, and they were talking about K Town. Remember I showed it to you? They were talking about K Town and they're like, oh well, they're just like Oaxaca little ugly people. Like little Korean
Yeah.
ugly people. And it's like, whoa, like that's your community though.
Ugly little boys or something like that. she
Yeah,
said,
like other ugly little she's like, ay, están feitos.
Feito, huh?
And I was like, well, that's your community. Like, though, like, not that that's her community, but it's like, one, that's a Latino population. Two, like, those are the communities that come together for you.
Well, first of all, those are the communities she's supporting or she's helping or whatever.
So the
case
fact that
may
you would
be,
talk to about like those families in that way makes me also feel really ugly about who you are as an individual, right? And then okay,
well,
maybe
that's what makes you question, like, how are you really gonna help them then? Or are you just playing the part?
well,
Are you
didn't
putting
you
up a
hear?
front?
Didn't you hear? She was talking about how like, oh, well, if the blacks, are they gonna feel
Yeah.
attacked?
It's a whole
she's
power.
afraid.
Yeah.
She's afraid that her power is gonna be taken, and a lot of people in positions of power are afraid that their position will be taken from them. But nothing that is yours will ever be taken. Because like, let's say, like I would say that you and I have like let's say we were both managers, right? Right? And then we move to becoming just regular workers, right? I think us as people, we're like, it doesn't matter the position because the work that I'm doing matters, right?
Yeah.
The position
Which is
just,
why, like, even as a manager, I would just like Jen, like I would go down and scrub the floors because I'll get back to your level, no problem,
Right.
no problem.
Right, very true.
But yeah, keep going.
But yeah, no, I think that's right. You're going on the right direction. That's where I was gonna go. Like where the position, sometimes the people become the position
Yeah. Yes.
and make yeah. So then the position is in power, right? They become the power, the position, because the position that she holds, she is the president of the LA County, LA County something, right?
Yeah.
Something. She's
I don't
the
know.
president, right? So if she's
She's
the
that
homegirl.
person in power or whatever.
Wait, I want to see her actual title before I start saying that. Los Angeles City Council. Oh, she's the Los Angeles City Council president of the sixth district, which is like, I think it's the Valley because
It kind of sucks because she's a woman, fool.
she's a woman and she's Latina and she has my last name.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking ugly. You're a disgrace. I'm just kidding.
That's
ugly.
No, but
ugly.
you know what? To a degree, it is pretty true because it's like, damn, you're out here representing, like, you're trying to represent us, and it's like, damn, that sucks.
And this
Like,
conversation
you're the
was like
person
done a
too?
year ago. So to think about like all the shit that she's been saying from then, or the shit that she's said prior, like that's just one audio tape. So that tells you like homegirl's been saying
She's
these
been
shit.
in this position. Like,
Yeah, and you, what are you saying about your community? Like the people that you know, and then even in one of the tapes, the guy, I think it was Herrera, he had mentioned,
they need a lie detector test
no,
on
he had
them fucking
mentioned
fools.
how they were gonna uncover like the Wizard of Oz, because in the Wizard of Oz, like the Wizard of Oz is this big fucking guy, but then when you open the curtain, he's this like little tiny person, right? And he's like, he ain't shit. We're gonna uncover that he ain't shit, right? I'm gonna make sure that we uncover that. Like he's
Yet
taking,
they got uncovered.
and then he got uncovered, and because that's what happens when you try to take karma into your own hands. Because that's what happens, when you try to take karma into your own karma's like, no, actually
I got you.
you stand in the way of karma.
Well,
Karma,
especially if your intentions are ugly.
if you stand in the way of karma, karma's just gonna go for whatever is in front of them.
Mhm.
So I think that's what happened. Like they uncovered them, as and also like, I don't know, even, I don't know. Like I told you, I'm not into politics. There's some things that like I just stay away from. But that one, I think that one kind of like stood out a lot for us because she's Latina, because she works very closely to the community we're from. We work in.
For
So
sure.
so it's kind of like, well, the audacity, like who is really here for us, right? Like
But
who.
so many people in power like that put up a front, fool, and that's the scary. Like, I think it goes back to again, like this idea of like presenting this beautiful picture, right? It
Mm.
goes back to that because it's like people will do anything it takes to be in that position of power and put up a front and feed you.
Especially because, huh?
No, and feed you this like beautiful story, and this is what I'm gonna do, and this is what I want to do, and this and this and that. And it's like, but are you really about it? Like, are you really about it, or are you just doing this because it's a position that you want to fulfill to make yourself feel better and not really what you really want to do?
Mm.
you know? And I think so many people in power and so many people in positions like that really just do that. And it sucks. It really sucks. And like you said, like it's one of those things where it's like, damn, we really probably rooted for you, or people really rooted for you because you're a woman, one, you're Latina, two. And it's like,
And I think sometimes a lot of politicians want to look cute on paper, but the real people, the people that should be up there, they wouldn't go up there because they have to go against a lot of like shit, like become something that they're not.
mm,
And I think people that go into politics sometimes can sell themselves out. Maybe at the beginning she had great intentions. Maybe like
or they got caught up in all the
they
whole
got caught
system.
up. They got caught
It's
up
like
in this
probation
because that's what happens.
officers.
A lot of yeah, you're right. Like a lot of probation officers, a lot of people like that go into these systems, they could get lost. And I think sometimes even for me, being a part of these systems, I'm like, I have to fight some things that I don't like. And it's uncomfortable and you feel like you're doing something wrong when you're pushing against
I think
the
it's the
system.
risk.
It is a
It's the
risk.
risk because it's the law.
But even us doing this podcast, right? I would say
Oh, it's a risk.
it's a big
For
ass
sure.
risk because
But I think we know what comes with the risk.
Mhm.
And I think we're well aware of like, okay, if this happens, well, we're aware of it. So
A-
now we just gotta adjust.
and I would say that you even said it earlier. Like I would like to have that fight though.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
tell me I'm wrong because I want to fight you. Not that in a bad way, but it's like you cannot box me in.
No, you should not box
You
me in
should not
because
box me in.
obviously the work that we do and what we're doing here go hand in hand.
Mhm.
Like,
And we
our
talked about it like being a tree. If
yeah.
if us being Ebony and Sylvia are both trees, all of our branches have to being being in the work that we do,
Yeah.
right? Having this podcast, being friend, like all of that has to do because this podcast, I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would say like this podcast is all about like friendship, right? It's about the involvement of who we are as individuals, right? And getting it together. But it's
Mhm.
also about like how what we do matters to others, right? Because without us being okay, the people that we work with aren't okay. And we care about it so much that we do it every day, even if it's a little bit. So then, and we have, I would say that we have positions of power.
Oh yeah.
We have very powerful positions, right? Maybe it doesn't look like a politician kind of power,
Well,
but
it's
it
just
is.
not on paper.
Yeah, but it is a powerful position to have
Yeah.
because the families we work with, they look up to us like, tú me vas a ayudar.
Yeah.
Tú me puedes ayudar. Because we have and hold a position of power.
It's
But
something you see, not just see on paper.
yes, and then in that position of power, we're not abusing it
No.
because we sit here and we reflect. And if we fucked up, we think about it and we're like, that wasn't right. And if
Mhm.
they're doing something that's against our families, we're like, no, let me fight that one.
Yeah. Yeah, position of power can really be
If you're not working on yourself, you're gonna get lost in that system. That system
for
gonna chew you out and make you what they
sure.
think you should be.
Yeah. And then you forget. You forget the real
Mm,
parts. You
mm,
forget, like Mozzie says, you bleed just like I do.
mm.
And the fact of the matter is you're just human, just like me. Like, so I think that literally says it all.
That's
It's
the
like,
great affirmation.
yeah, what? You bleed just like I do? Maybe. You
That's a
want to be
good.
there? Yeah.
That'll be the affirmation.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like, at the end of the day, you're just like me, regardless of the title you have, regardless of anything. And I think that's why, like, and I think I see it a lot with like going back to the conversation of cops. Like, for me, it becomes really triggering to see a Latino, as in a position of cop enforcing these rules or enforcing this like, you know, um power that they have and being very like, and it's like, yo, like, how are you acting like that? Like, how do you, but again, you get caught up in presenting this front and presenting this position because you feel like you have to prove a point, and you really don't have to prove a point. Like, you should really be able to adjust to what you're at, not get thrown into this and feel like you're being attacked. Like, you shouldn't feel like you're being attacked. Like, you should make it feel like, oh, I understand. So this is what I'm gonna do because obviously I've seen it firsthand. Well, maybe I don't know. I can't really say like all of them have seen it firsthand, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Just be mindful of who you
just be
are.
mindful of who you are as a person. Like,
Like stay
that's
humble.
yeah, stay humble because the fact of the matter is like whatever you got, like it turns back karma again.
Yeah, and
Karma.
I feel like when you're not humble, like some people don't even know how to be humble. Like some people just don't. Like they've never had it. Right? So just being aware, like start asking yourself, like even if you're not sure, like just even asking yourself, like where can I be more humble? Like where can I be more or check yourself as you're moving through the world. Like when you're in positions of power, right? Am I taking advantage of this moment? Right?
Mhm.
Because if when you are, because I'll admit it, like sometimes I do take advantage of being having the privilege to work with these youth, with these families. Sometimes I complain about the little shit. I complain about the people that I have to deal with, and I forget that like no, I get to change lives today.
And when
You
you see
forget
it
because
firsthand,
you forget because you're caught up. You're caught up in the and sometimes it's tricky, but if you can take the time to reflect and be like, what matters right now? Me arguing and going back and forth in these fucking emails, or me back going, and being upset at fulanita de tal, like give a
XYZ.
yeah, literally give a fuck. Give a fuck because I
Yeah.
get the privilege, and I think that really does humble me and remind me to just stay grounded because again, like you said and like Momsy said, like you bleed as I do, right?
Yeah.
These kids, these families bleed as I do. They hurt, and their stories and their lives and their families, like even everything that they go through, like I could see it in my family. I could see a little bit of you in me, and I have to remember that because I
Yeah.
could be in the same position, you know
From one day to the
or maybe
next.
I'm in the position. Some of my kids are in toxic relationships or have toxic relationships with their parents, and I'm like, I could see that. Maybe it's not to that extreme, but I could see that. And so, as much as I don't sit in their shoes, I could be like, oh, okay, all right,
Right.
I'm not better than you, and I'm not gonna judge you for having that.
Right.
So, very beautifully said.
So be nice.
Be nice and don't
Be
take
nice.
don't take advantage of the places you're in.
Oh hell no.
Nothing. Like not even if you're in a position of power. Like even being an older sister, you're in a position of power. Even being a daughter, even every position. Just
Holds
think
power.
about literally. I was about to say that. Like
Holds power.
every place that you are in, whatever relation, there is a power in it. So don't take advantage of it. You know, stay humble to where you at because you know you could be angry at someone, and like realistically they have their own shit. Like you know, like
Don't take it personal.
it's hard sometimes
Of course.
because some people do some really ugly shit.
Unfortunately, but that's the control you don't have. And that's the control you have to surrender to.
You sound like me.
Damn, that's crazy, huh?
You sound like me.
I know.
What the fuck?
That's fucking crazy.
What the hell? What the hell?
But that happens. When you start hanging out. Well, not you start hanging out, but when you hang out with someone, things
Those
go.
are the ideas, you know, that we share.
Yeah, but it's true.
They're part of our vocabulary nowadays.
For sure.
Well,
But they're crucial.
I think we'll leave it there, amiga.
We'll
that was a
leave it
great
there.
conversation. Yep. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Remember,
Yes.
you bleed as I do.
Oh, damn, boo. I was literally about to say that right now.
Literally, dog.
Nah, yeah. But I was about to say that. So just stay humble because you don't know. It might come from the left. It might come from the right. So you better watch out.
It might come from the back.
Damn. Or that.
That is
Or that. Or from the front. Or from the top. From the
oh,
bottom.
from the top.
All right. Bye.
Bye.